Have you tried everything to stop overtrading? Rules, limits, journals, even promising yourself, this time I'll be disciplined. And yet, you still find yourself clicking again. One more trade, one more setup that wasn't really there. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if overtrading has nothing to do with greed at all? What if greed is just the mask, and the real reason is much deeper? Because here's the truth most traders never hear. You don't overtrade because you want more money. You overtrade because you're trying to fix something inside yourself. And once you see this, really see it, overtrading starts to lose its grip. Let's break it down. Number one, you're not chasing money, you're chasing relief. Think about the moment before you overtrade. You're not calm, you're not neutral, you're uncomfortable. Maybe you missed a trade, maybe you took a loss, maybe price moved without you. And suddenly, there's this pressure in your chest, a subtle tension, not greed, discomfort. So you take another trade, not because it's a great setup, but because clicking the button gives you relief, just for a moment. Your brain isn't saying, I want more profit. It's saying, make this feeling go away. That's pure psychology. The human brain hates unresolved tension. It craves closure, completion, control. Trading creates open loops all day long. What if I missed the move? What if this comes back? What if I was wrong? Overtrading is your nervous system trying to close those loops. It's emotional regulation, not greed. That's why telling yourself, just be disciplined, never works. You're trying to use logic to solve a nervous system problem, and the nervous system always wins. Number two, overtrading is a control addiction. Here's something nobody talks about. Most overtraders don't feel powerful in their daily lives. Read that again. Trading becomes the one place where you feel in control. You choose the market. You choose the direction. You choose the size. Click. Instant feedback. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You felt in charge. Now notice what happens when you don't trade. You're forced to wait, to watch, to do nothing. And doing nothing feels like losing control. So you take another trade. Not because it's a great setup, but because clicking the button gives you relief. Just for a moment. Your brain isn't saying, I want more profit. It's saying, make this feeling go away. That's pure psychology. The human brain hates unresolved tension. It craves closure, completion, control. Trading creates open loops all day long. What if I missed the move? What if this comes back? What if I was wrong? Overtrading is your nervous system trying to close those loops. It's emotional regulation, not greed. That's why telling yourself, just be disciplined, never works. You're trying to use logic to solve a nervous system problem, and the nervous system always wins. Number three, you're trying to prove you're the kind of trader who wins. This one hits deep. Overtrading is often identity-driven. You don't just want to make money, you want to be a profitable trader. That identity matters. So when you're flat for the day, or down slightly, it feels like an attack on who you are. I can't end the day like this. I know I'm better than this. Real traders don't sit on their hands. So you trade again, and again. Not to make money, but to protect your self-image. Psychology calls this ego threat. Anytime your identity feels threatened, the brain goes into defense mode. Logic shuts down. Impulse rises. That's why your worst trades often come after a losing streak, a missed opportunity, a day where you should have done better. You're not trading the market. You're trading your self-worth. And that's a game you can't win. Number four, overtrading is fear pretending to be confidence. This sounds backward, but stay with me. Confident traders wait. Insecure traders act. When you don't trust your edge deeply, when you don't trust yourself deeply, silence becomes unbearable. So you fill it with activity. More charts, more time frames, more trades. It feels proactive, it looks confident, but underneath, it's fear. Fear that if you stop, nothing will happen. Fear that if you wait, you'll miss your chance. Fear that the market will expose you. Overtrading is often the avoidance of stillness, because stillness forces you to face doubt, and most people would rather lose money than sit with uncertainty. That's why the solution isn't trade less, it's learning how to tolerate uncertainty without reacting. That's emotional strength. That's real discipline. Number 5. You're addicted to stimulation, not profit. Let's be honest, trading is stimulating. The charts move, the numbers change, your heart rate spikes, dopamine flows. Over time, your brain associates trading with stimulation, not income. So when the market is slow, boring, dead, your brain gets restless. And what does a restless brain do? It looks for action. Any action. Even bad trades feel better than no trades. This is why overtrading feels compulsive. It's not about money anymore, it's about keeping your brain entertained. And here's the trap. The more you overtrade, the less sensitive you become. You need more trades to feel the same stimulation. That's how addiction works. The market becomes a slot machine. Not because you're greedy, but because your brain is bored. So what actually stops overtrading? Not rules, not limits. Awareness. You stop overtrading when you stop using the market to regulate your emotions. When you can sit through missed trades, flat days, slow sessions, uncertainty, without needing to act. When waiting doesn't feel like weakness, but strength. When doing nothing feels productive. That's the shift. Overtrading fades when your identity is no longer tied to constant action. When you trust that your edge doesn't disappear if you don't click. When you realize you don't need to prove anything to the market. Here's a simple reframe that changes everything. Your job is not to trade. Your job is to wait for moments worth trading. Everything else is noise. And the moment you internalize that, you'll notice something strange. The urge to overtrade gets quieter, not because you fought it, but because you no longer need it. If this video made you feel seen, if it put words to something you've been struggling with, stay here. Subscribe. Because the traders who win long-term aren't smarter. They're just more honest with themselves. And that's a skill you can build.